Once my artwork is printed, I go ahead and start working on that internal frame. First, I have to measure the size of the artwork, making sure that I'm doing the colored part of the paper, not the white part. That's the part that gets stretched. I go ahead and use my miter box saw to cut the pieces of wood to the size that I need them. Here I'm just using a clamp to secure that in place. And then once I'm done with that, we'll go ahead and sand those sides down so that they fit well together inside of my pony strap here. That's really what's going to hold this together as it dries and gets all secure. Once that's dry, we go ahead and stretch that canvas over the internal frame. And then I just use a craft stapler to go ahead and get those staples right into the box. And then once that's finished, we're starting to come together now. I have to use a razor next because unfortunately there's some hang on this paper just with the size of this specific print. That tends to happen with all of them, but it's not too hard to get that off. Alright, next, once that is off, I like to go ahead and just take some black acrylic paint, and I like to get right up close to that edge there. The reason I do that is really so that you don't see any of that white shining through once I have that exterior frame installed. And speaking of exterior frames, we're going to go right back to my garage and get working on that. So take our measurements again, this time adding 1.5 inches so that the exterior frame can fit around the interior frame and the canvas. And once again, returning inside, we're going to go ahead and sand those pieces down just like we did before so they fit well together. Put them in that pony strap again. I really like to keep the artwork inside just so that I can make sure it dries correctly. I don't have any weird gaps or anything like that. And I know that I can squeeze it in and out as I am moving on with the next process. So here we got to just varnish it up real quick. I do 2 coats of that going in opposite directions once that first coat has dried. Alright, varnish is applied. Here's what we're looking like. Then I just slide the 2 frames together. I'll screw them in just like so. And then once I'm done with that, I go ahead and install these little hooks on the back. You can hang them on the wall with that. Go ahead and label it, sign it, and it's done.